Hello my dear children, I hope all of you are okay and fine. Today we are going to start a new series of videos for the subject science for class 8 following CBSE syllabus. Let's begin. Right now, two situations are coming to my mind. 20th March 2020. World Health Organization WHO declared COVID-19 coronavirus as a pandemic resulting in a global emergency situation. This spread from China to all over the world, and the colleges, institutions, schools, offices, the markets all were closed for more than 2 years. This unprecedented situation led to adopt new norms like work from home, attending online classes, frequent use of sanitizer, wearing mask, and many more. And these coronaviruses attack our respiratory system, so we have lost many of our near and dear ones. Such care situation. I believe many of you also have such memories related to this situation. Another situation is very personal to mine. Every Sunday morning I get excited. Actually, it starts from Saturday morning. Why? Because every Sunday morning we have idli or dosa as our breakfast. So, Saturday morning we have to soak rice and the dal, and then after grinding we keep the batter in a covered container and then we keep it in a warm place. On the following day, that is Sunday morning, when I uncover the lid, surprisingly I observe the batter has risen, becoming fluffy with air bubbles inside it. But this container remains closed all along. Then how does this happen? It's a magic, is not it? And the magician is tiny organisms which are invisible to our naked eyes. And these organisms are considered as microorganisms. They cannot be seen by our naked eyes. They are considered as microorganisms or the microbes. Micros means small, very small, and the bios means life. So the life which are very small, we can observe with the help of magnifying glass or the compound microscope, even in some cases ultra microscope. So let's discuss the topic of these microorganisms. In the first situation, we have seen that microbes behaves like our enemies, and in the second situation, these microbes help us for making the yummy recipes. So together, let's reveal whether they are friends or our foes. Very often your parents and the grandparents tell that not to take the uncovered food or the water which are contaminated, not covered, not boiled in a proper way, or else we may suffer from the diseases like cholera, typhoid. And this cholera and the typhoid are caused by tiny microorganisms. They are the bacteria. They may be comma shaped or maybe spiral shaped, or they appear in various other forms. If we take a small amount of water from the pond and we spread it on the glass slide, and then if we observe under microscope, we will observe that some filaments, greenish filaments are present, or maybe the spherical structures, the colonies are present. Mainly they are the algae. They are the main producer in the aquatic ecosystem and for the release of the production of the oxygen gas. They may be unicellular, multicellular, but filamentous also. I am drawing one diagram that is for the Spirogyra. Spiral shaped chloroplast is present. Filamentous algae, and this is the volvox, colonial algae. If we keep unused bread or the oranges in a moist place for a long time, we observe white cottony mass develop, or later it turns into a greenish structure or the grayish black structure. And your mother tells the food gets spoiled. Don't take, otherwise we may suffer from diseases. Actually, what happens, there the microorganisms grow and responsible for releasing the toxic substances. That's why we may suffer from diseases. They are nothing but the fungi. On bread, rhizopus may develop. Many a times your mother warns that mosquito net is a must at bedtime. Otherwise, we may suffer from malaria, as malaria is caused by protozoans and it is carried by female Anopheles mosquito. So, the mosquito net is must. So, what have we learned? That the microorganisms, on the basis of their nature, characteristic features, can be divided into 4 groups: bacteria, algae, fungi and the protozoa. One more group is there, viruses. They are mysterious, they are very unique. Outside the host, they behave like non-living organisms, and inside the host, maybe plant bacteria or the animal, they behave like living organisms. Later we will discuss. As we need ultra microscope to observe these viruses are also considered as microbes. Anthony van Leeuwenhoek was born on 24th October in the year 1632. He was a Dutch linen merchant in his young age. Gradually, he developed interest for making the magnifying lens. In 1660, he got a lucrative job as a chamberlain in municipal office, and later in 1690, he was appointed as a land surveyor by the court of Holland. 1660 onwards, he started to explore microbial world, and he was the first to observe microbes using his own microscope with a single lens. This is the microscope which has been made by him. Single lens, very simple. And he observed these microbes in pond water and even in soil and the scraping from his teeth. But he named them as little animalcules. For his contribution in the field of microbiology, he is commonly known as the father of microbiology. But his work he did not publish in any book. All his observations he communicated to the Royal Society through letters, and he got the recognition and considered as the father of microbiology. Now let's discuss about the characteristic features of these microorganisms. These microorganisms are very small in size. They cannot be seen with our naked eyes, as I told you. That is either magnifying lens or the compound microscope. Even for the viruses, ultra microscopes are needed. They are found everywhere in the environment on the earth. They are found in the water, pond, pool, lakes, oceans. They are found in the air, in the atmosphere. Even they are found in the soil, and they are found inside the bodies of other living organisms. Amazing. And they can tolerate extreme conditions, extreme temperature, maybe more than 100 degrees centigrade, and even extreme dryness and even extreme cold, maybe minus 90 degrees centigrade. Some bacteria can tolerate this, and they overcome this situation by forming a hard outer covering, which is known as cyst. And when the favorable condition comes, they come out from this hard covering, they multiply, and then they continue their life cycle. These microorganisms may be unicellular. Unicellular means single-celled. Example, bacteria, protozoans, and some algae. Say for example, Chlamydomonas. Okay, or they may be multicellular. That means many-celled. Example, I am writing here example for the multicellular. Some algae. Example, Volvox. Just now we have seen the spherical structure. Some microorganisms are beneficial for us, and some microorganisms are responsible for developing diseases. We all know. Now the viruses, they are very mysterious. Outside the living organism, they can be crystallized and they behave like a non-living organisms. But when they enter inside the host, maybe plant, animal, or the bacteria, their behavior turns in a dramatic condition. They behave like living organisms. They do not have any cell organelles or the cytoplasm, so they are acellular. So that means they do not have mitochondria, no mitochondria. They do not have cytoplasm, so they cannot respire outside the living organism. They do not have ribosome. So they cannot make their own protein, and we all know that enzymes are proteinaceous in nature. So they cannot execute any metabolic activities as they do not have ribosome. So outside the living organism, they behave like non-living particles. But when they enter into the living organisms, like plant, animal, or the bacteria, they hijack the host machineries and start reproducing. They respond to heat, chemical, and the radiation. And while they reproduce, they release some toxic substances, and because of the metabolic activities, and these toxic substances are responsible for developing the disease in the host organism, maybe plant, maybe animal, or the bacteria. So they are very unique, is not it? That's why they are considered as the link between the living and the non-living thing. Very, very important. They have nucleic acid, either DNA or the RNA, as their genetic material. Only one type. And outside that, they have a protein covering which is known as protein coat. Capsid. This outside, this is the protein coat which is known as capsid. I am drawing the phage virus, that means the virus which can attack bacteria. Then here plate is present, basal plate and the tail fibers. So inside the nucleic acid, DNA or RNA, only one type. And outside protein coat, which is known as capsid. This is the bacteriophage. Or the phage virus, that means the host is bacteria. Next, I have an interesting clippings for you all. Let's watch. Then the lysis of the bacteria, that is the bursting open of the bacterial cell, and many more bacteriophages will come out. Again it will attack new bacteria. It's interesting, is not it? And let's watch one more video.
पढ़ते पढ़ते जी घबराया, तो छोला खाया गोला खाया, देखा बुरा नतीजा सामने आया, फिर पछताया तो क्या पछताया।
टाइफॉइड आया तो समझ में आया। टाइफॉइड अच्छी तरह हाथ न धोने से, ठेले से खाना खाने से और बगैर उबला पानी पीने से फैलता है। टाइफॉइड से बच्चे ज्यादा मुतासिर होते हैं और ये एक मोहलिक बीमारी है। अगर बर वक्त इलाज न करवाया जाए तो टाइफॉइड एक संगीन सूरत इख्तियार कर सकता है। अपने बच्चों को टाइफॉइड का हिफाजती टीका जरूर लगवाएं और अपने बच्चों का मुस्तकबिल महफूज।
So my dear children, what have we learned in today's video, in today's class? Remember not to take uncovered food or the water without boiling or without proper distillation, or else we may suffer from various types of microbial diseases. Is not it? In my next video, together we will explore the world of friendly microbes. Till then, enjoy learning. Stay happy, healthy, fine. May God bless you each and everyone. Bye. Take care.